Good afternoon, Annabelle. How are you today?
Well, thank you.
That's good. I'm glad you could make it in today. It's really nice to see you. You got here okay?
Yep.
Yeah? Did you drive or did you have to get public transport?
I caught the bus.
Caught the bus and it was fairly easy?
Yep.
Yeah, good. Annabelle, just so you know, we have gone through the initial screening stuff with you for our service, but everything you tell me is private and confidential unless I feel that you are at harm of harming yourself or harming someone else, and then I will have to let someone else in my service know. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Annabelle, what we're going to do today is we're going to go through what we call a DUDIT, which is a drug order.
Sorry, a what?
A DUDIT.
A DUDIT.
A DUDIT, yeah. A DUDIT, which is Drug Use Disorders Identification Tests. Okay, so there are a range of questions in this, and what we do is we get an idea of your substance use from the answers that you give for these questions, and then it gives us a score at the end, which gives us a bit of an idea of where you're at. Okay, and what we can possibly do to help you. If you find any of these questions confronting or triggering, just let me know and we'll just take our time. Does that all sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, so how often do you use drugs other than alcohol, Annabelle?
Most days.
Okay, so the answers here are never, once a month, 2 to 4 times a month, 2 to 3 times a week, 4 times a week, or more often.
More often.
And do you use more than one type of drug on the same occasion?
Yes.
Yeah, would that be the same 4 times a week or more often?
Yes.
Do you mind me asking what substance we're referring to, Annabelle?
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. It's purely just gives me more of an idea of what we're dealing with and the risks that might be associated with your substance use. But if you don't want to disclose that, then you don't need to. That's totally fine.
Well, yeah, I don't feel comfortable talking about it just yet.
Okay, that's fine. No problem. Thank you. Thank you for being honest with me. How many times do you take drugs on a typical day when you use drugs?
Oh, is there options?
0, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 or more.
On average, I'd have to say 3 to 4.
3 to 4. Would that be in a 24-hour period?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What does that look like for you, Annabelle, when you have to retake the substance of your choice 3 to 4 times in the 24 hours? Is that just something that comes with your substance of choice? Do you have to keep taking it to get the desired effect? Does it not last that long?
I think I enjoy the act of taking the drug. Not so much being on the drug, but taking it. That's probably why I do it.
Mm-hmm. How often are you influenced heavily by drugs? Never, less than once a month, every week, daily or almost daily?
To be possibly daily. If not daily, then almost daily, but let's just say daily.
Thank you. Over the last year, have you felt that your longing for drugs was so strong that you couldn't resist it?
Yes.
Daily?
Mostly daily.
Is this the first time you've reached out to when
No.
you've identified that there might be something going on for you, Annabelle?
No, it's not, but
No?
but the last time I did it didn't go well for me, so I put it off for a long time.
Okay. Who did you reach out to last time?
A local religious figure for help.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that it didn't go very well for you.
No, it certainly didn't.
Hopefully we can make you feel a little bit more safe and a little bit more comfortable. And please do let me know throughout our interactions that if you're feeling a little less than safe, try and communicate that with us and we can see what we can do to help, okay? Has it happened over the past year that once you started taking drugs, you could not stop?
Yes.
Daily or weekly?
Oh, definitely weekly.
Every week, yeah? What does that feel like, Annabelle, when you can't stop?
Oh, it's many different things. Exhausting. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Apart from the local religious figure that you reached out to, have you ever spoken to AOD, which is an alcohol and drug counselling professional?
No, the coppers tried to get me to once, but no.
Okay.
No.
And when you say there was a police intervention, was there a reason that you didn't follow through with that?
Because I don't need their help.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Do you still feel that way now?
That was a while ago. But I don't think I need help, but now I can see how help could possibly be beneficial.
So you may possibly be in the future open to an alcohol and drug counsellor coming up with some suggestions on how you can improve your outlook based on what you've told me so far.
Well, never say never.
Yeah, thank you. How often over the past year have you taken drugs, then neglected to do something you should have done?
Oh, I don't let drugs stop me from doing anything. No, I still function even when I'm off tap.
Yeah, okay. So never?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Do you work, Annabelle?
Yes.
Yeah, full time?
No. Permanent part-time.
Part-time job. What do you do for work?
Does that matter?
No, it doesn't. I'm just interested. I like to ask some different questions sometimes to take the focus away from the drug use stuff.
I understand, but I'd rather just not explore those sorts of things.
Yeah, no problem. How often over the past year have you needed to take a drug the morning after heavy drug use the day before?
Every time.
So daily?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you think that's why it's become a daily thing? Because you've had to keep taking it the morning after?
It's not something I've consciously thought about, but it could appear that way, couldn't it?
Sometimes these assessment tools enable us to see this stuff, to start to see this stuff for ourselves, and help us to understand a little bit more about what our substance use looks like. So thank you for answering that question for me, Annabelle. How often over the past year have you had guilty feelings or a bad conscience because you used drugs?
No, I don't feel guilty.
Never?
No.
Okay. Have you or anyone else ever been hurt physically or mentally because you use drugs?
Look, I'd rather not answer.
So should we put that you don't need to give me any details? Should we put down no, yes, but not over the past year, yes, over the past year? And there's absolutely no details involved with this question. It just gives us an idea of where we need to move forward to.
Look, I don't want to elaborate. All I'm going to say is maybe a couple of times.
Has a relative, friend, doctor or nurse ever been worried about your drug use and said that you should stop taking drugs? Yeah? Recently?
Recently, in the last 3 months or so, yeah.
So what brought you in today, Annabelle, to have a chat with me to start working on your concern around your substance use?
I think it might be good in the future for me to ease up a bit. So, not that I want to now, but I think maybe further on down the track, then it might be something that it's worthwhile getting some tools for now.
Why do you think that might be, Annabelle? What do you think the future might look like if you don't start to think about cutting down or stopping now?
That's part of the problem. I can't see a clear future for myself.
So do you think there might be some contemplation about possibly putting some tools into place sooner rather than later, based on what you've told me about gradually starting to slow down so that you can start to see the future a little more clearly?
Look, for me to talk to someone after what's happened in the past is a big step for me.
Absolutely.
So I'd rather we weren't trying to, I'm feeling a bit of pressure for me from you to put things into place, and I'm not ready for that. I'm just, me being here now
Yeah, absolutely.
is enough for the time being. So yeah, as I say, I don't want to feel pressure and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And I'm sort of just getting a little bit of a vibe on it now. So
No problem. The only other thing I want to ask you, Annabelle, and we will end our session because I don't want you to feel pressure or feel unsafe, is what would you hope for the outcome to be from this session moving into your next one? Because you've made the connection with us. We've done a little bit of a screening tool here. You've acknowledged that there is a little bit of a problem around your substance use and that you may want to start cutting down in the future, but you're not ready to do that yet. What would you like to do between now and the next session so that we can start helping you to develop some kind of small plan and take small steps towards helping you?
look, all I want from this session is for me to be positive enough to come to another one.
Okay, great. And do you feel like if we kind of wrapped that up now and left it where it was and made an appointment for you to come back in a fortnight's time, that you might feel good enough to come back?
I need a few days just to sort out in my head everything that for me, I've let a lot of stuff out today.
Thank you.
So I need to process.
Yeah. Well, you've done really well, Annabelle. So why don't we, in say 3 days' time, it's Monday now, why don't you give me a call Thursday afternoon and just let me know how you're travelling, and we can possibly make another appointment if that's what you decide to do. How does that sound?
Sounds maybe, yeah, okay, maybe.
All right.
Maybe we'll see how we go.
No worries. Well, let's see if I hear from you on Thursday, and then moving forward from there, we will have another appointment and chat about where you're at and take some time from there.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, great. Thanks for coming in today, Annabelle.
Thank you.
Take care. Awesome.
Why?
That's all right.
I thought the first